Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikhil Sanade and this is the chapter 3, part 3 of the Rich Dad Poor Dad series. Let's continue. I have said many times that we go to school to get scholastic skills and professional skills, both important. We learn to make money with our professional skills. In the 1960s, when I was in high school, if someone did well in school academically, important, almost immediately people assume this bright student would go on to be a medical doctor. Often, no one asked the child if they wanted to be a doctor. It was assumed. It was the profession with the promise of the greatest financial reward. Today, doctors are facing financial challenges I would not wish on my worst enemy. Insurance companies taking control of the business, managed healthcare, government intervention, and malpractices suits, to name a few. Today, kids want to be basketball stars, golfers like Tiger Woods, computer nerds, movie stars, rock stars, beauty queens, or traders on Wall Street, simply because that is where the fame, money, and prestige is. That is the reason it is so hard to motivate kids in school today. They know that professional success is no longer solely linked to academic success as it once was. Because students leave school without financial skills, millions of educated people pursue their profession successfully but later find themselves struggling financially. They work harder but don't get ahead. What is missing from their education is not how to make money, but how to spend money, what to do after you make it. It's called financial aptitude. What you do with the money once you make it, how to keep people from taking it from you, how long you keep it, and how hard that money works for you. Most people cannot tell why they struggle financially because they don't understand cash flow. A person can be highly educated, professionally successful, and financially illiterate. These people often work harder than they need to because they learn how to work hard but not how to have money work for them. The story of how the quest for the financial dream turns into a financial nightmare. The moving picture show of a hardworking people has a set pattern. Recently married, the happy, highly educated young couple move in together in one of their cramped rented apartments. Immediately, they realize that they are saving money because two can live as cheaply as one. The problem is the apartment is cramped. They decide to save money to buy their dream home so they can have kids. They now have two incomes and they begin to focus on their careers. Their incomes begin to increase. As their incomes go up, their expenses go up as well. The number one expense for most people is taxes. Many people think it's income tax, but for most Americans, their highest tax is social security. As an employee, it appears as if the social security tax combined with the Medicare tax rate is roughly 7.5%, but it's really 15% since the employer must match the social security amount. In essence, it is the money the employer cannot pay you. On top of that, you still have to pay income tax on the amount deducted from your wages for social security tax. Income you never receive because it went directly to social security through withholding. Confirm rather than question. Often they mindlessly repeat what they have been told. Ideas such as diversify or your home is an asset, your home is your biggest investment, you get a tax break for going into greater debt, get a safe job, don't make mistakes, don't take risks. It is said that the fear of public speaking is a fear greater than death for most people. According to psychiatrists, the fear of public speaking is caused by the fear of ostracism, the fear of standing out, the fear of criticism, the fear of ridicule, the fear of being an outcast, the fear of being different prevents most people from seeking new ways to solve their problems. That is why my educated dad said the Japanese valued the power of the mirror the most, for it is only when we ask humans look into the mirror do we find truth, and the main reason that most people say play it safe is out of fear. That goes for anything, be it sports, relationships, career, money. It is that same fear, the fear of ostracism, that causes people to confirm and not question commonly accepted opinions or popular trends. Your home is an asset. Get a bill consolidation loan and get out of debt. Work harder, it's a promotion. Someday I will be a vice president, save money. When I get a raise, I will buy us a bigger house. Mutual funds are safe. Tickle me, Elmo dolls are out of stock. But I just happen to have one in back that another customer has not come by for yet. Many great financial problems are caused by going along with the crowd and trying to keep with the Jonases. Occasionally, we all need to look in the mirror and be true to our inner wisdom rather than our fears. By the time Mike and I were 16 years old, we began to have problems in school. We were not bad kids. We just began to separate from the crowd. We worked for Mike's dad after school, and on the weekends, Mike and I often spent hours after work just sitting at a table with his dad while he held meetings with his bankers, attorneys, accountants, brokers, investors, managers, and employees. Here was a man who had left school at the age of 13, now directing, instructing, ordering, and asking questions of educated people. They come at his back and call and cringed when he did not approve of them. Here was a man who had not gone along with the crowd. He was a man who did his own thinking and detested the words, we have to do it this way because that's the way everyone else does. He also hated the word can't. If you wanted him to do something, just say, I don't think you can do it. Mike and I learned more sittings at his meetings than we did in all our years of school, college included. Mike's dad was not school educated, but he was financially educated and successful as a result. He used to tell us over and over again an intelligent person hires people who are more intelligent than they are. So, Mike and I had the benefit of spending hours listening to and in process learning from intelligent people. But because of this, both Mike and I just could not go along with the standard dogma that our teachers preached, and that caused the problems. Whenever the teacher said, if you don't get good grades, you won't do well in the real world, Mike and I just raised our eyebrows. When we told to follow set procedures and not deviate from the rules, we could see how this schooling process actually discouraged creativity. We started to understand why our rich dad told us that schools were designed to produce good employees instead of employers. Occasionally, Mike or I would ask our teachers how what we studied was applicable, or why we asked why we never studied money and how it worked. To the later question, we often got the answer that money was not important, that if we excelled in our education, the money would follow. The more we knew about the power of money, the more distant we grew from the teachers and our classmates. My highly educated dad never pressured me about my grades. I often wondered why, but we did begin to argue about money. By the time I was 16, I probably had a far better foundation with money than both my mom and dad. I could keep books, I listened to tax accountants, corporate attorneys, bankers, real estate brokers, investors, and so forth. My dad talked to teachers. One day, my dad was telling me why our home was his greatest investment, or not to place an argument took place when I showed him why I thought a house was not a good investment. The following diagram illustrates the difference in perception between my rich dad and my poor dad when it comes to their homes. One dad thought his house was an asset, and the other dad thought it was a liability. I remember when I drew the following diagram for my dad showing him the direction of cash flow. I showed him the ancillary expenses that went along with the owning the home. The bigger home meant bigger expenses, and the cash flow kept going out through the expense column. Today, I am still challenge the idea of a house not being an asset, and I know that for many people, it is their dream as well as largest investment. Okay, I will end this audio here, and I will see you in the next audio. Thanks for listening.